To be a curator is to be a person who helps select from among a variety of pieces to put together a cohesive exhibit or collection. So in my case, let's say I will curate a collection for a family. And so what I will do first is I will interview the family, and I will find out their likes and their dislikes. And we also have to talk about money, what the budget is. We also have to look at spaces. We have to look at things like, is it a big wall that we see when we walk in? Is it a little tiny wall that we see on the side? Is there light coming in? Are there stairs? We look at all of those architectural factors. And then we come up with a plan. And the plan includes educating the client about the variety of art that exists. And there is so much art to choose from. My job is to sort of edit and decide maybe about 10 or 15 artists so the client can then begin to look at books, look at artwork, go to galleries with me, look at magazines, etc., and decide, this is talking to me, this is making me feel good. And so then among that group, we will begin to look at scale, which means size. What size do we need? Let's say we have a wall like that. We don't want a piece of art like that. We need something large. Do we want it to be flat? Do we want it to be three-dimensional? Do we want it to be a sculpture? Do we want it to be a photograph? If we decide we'd like a wall of photographs, is there light coming in? Not a good idea, because the light will affect the photograph. So maybe we need a wall sculpture, or we need an oil painting that isn't as sensitive to light. So all those factors inform how you curate a collection. And then ultimately, you want it to all work together. I say the pieces need to talk to one another. And they also need to challenge, because sometimes you see something that's just pretty. And often new collectors say, oh, I want something that's just pretty, or I don't want anything that's going to make me sad, or I don't want anything that upsets me. But over time, I begin to say, you want something that's going to pique your imagination for the rest of your life. You want to look at something that every time you look at it, you see something different. And so it's not the easy viewing. And, so my challenge sometimes is to stretch the client. And I've often had clients say, oh, I don't like landscapes. I don't like figures. I don't like this. And I'll say, okay. I'll take them to look at landscapes. I'll take them to look at figures. And sometimes they say, I didn't know that a figure could look like that, or I didn't know a landscape looked like that. And so that's the exciting part, opening people's eyes. And that's what you do as a curator. You manage, you bring together disparate ideas, but that make a cohesive statement.